haven of memories. Every touch, every moment is like a thorned rose.
This is ridiculous! How come I keep bumping into... Shall we keep going then? Did you forget already?
I'm not too familiar with this planet.
As if a merchant...
I already picked up a few gifts earlier. So that means there's only 3 more left to go. But we've already lost a lot of time. So we better not drag our feet.
Welcome! How can I help you?
Hello there. It's my first time visiting the dreamscape.
Wow, you really know how to flatter. Go ahead.
First we have Lady Fuxuan of the...
Did you pick that?
Meticulously thought out, and next is...
That's not your decision to make.
That's the kind of treasure I've always yearned. Come to Clock Studios theme park to learn more about the history of the planet. Finally, we have Lady Bailu of the... That's a good idea. It might be commonplace, but that's all of them. Please wrap them up for me. Thanks to both your help, everything went smoother.
Why don't we pay another visit to the Dreamscape sales store? You can find memory bubbles.
A souvenir for myself. But there's one more thing I wish to do. This is a good spot.
Don't forget to let your friends in on the action.
Miss Ting Yoon.
You've looked out for me during our travel, but there are some things I find... Do you two still...
How could we forget? She was so...
Exactly. And that's precisely why I haven't been able to... When I asked for your names, I couldn't help but think that this first encounter was... I've heard about what happened to you on the Xianzhou. And I've got to admit that Phantylia's
Yeah, we couldn't even tell when you were replaced by Phantylia. I figured it happened when we were after Kafka. You vanished for a while.
But it was much. That thought has me filled with sorrow. As if a piece of... That's what I've been puzzled about, too. What was your impression of that? That part is true. So, what did she seem like? Oh, is that a compliment? Was there anything
That's true. I'd love to learn how you...
Now, in your eyes, am I just like the
Wait, don't you find that question a bit weird?
Miss March, you might have the wrong idea.
Huh?
As a merchant, staying well-informed is crucial. It's only natural. If I had rushed in and out back then, I wouldn't have been much help.
We wouldn't have...
Exactly. Based on your description, that Lord Ravager was indeed cunning. Her demeanor mirrored mine so closely. I regret missing out on your Senjo journey. But everything that unfolded after... Fantilia had stolen a piece of my life, and a Foxian always gets even. But after thinking it over, the only thing that thought has brought me great comfort. And now we've never even met before, and here you are, offering your help, just as before. And now, I will reclaim. Dear benefactors, I extend my heartfelt... Looks like we're off to a good start. And you, my dear benefactor...
Miss Ting-yoon, that's way too over the top.
We'll see. I just hope the Ting-yoon in your... All right, no more questions.
A dream about eons?
Welcome to the Dreamscape segment.
We're looking for some dreams to give as gifts.
Just a friendly reminder, being too picky would help you find. That being said, there are always luck. The story unfolds in the Shinjo Alliance, where a young swordmaster strives to become the sword champion. However,
Why does that sound oddly...
Since I'm returning to the Senjo, I think it's better to...
I love customers like you. So
So easy to take advantage. Just don't pick anything...
Oh, speaking of dreamscapes, after troubling you all this time, I couldn't leave without properly express...
Wow.
here are the dream bundles I prepared for you. Thank you.
Well, it looks like everything's finally in order.
Can't believe it's time for Miss Ting-yoon to leave. I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet. Yeah, we got delayed on the way. Mr. Yang will explain it. Has the messenger from the Cienjo arrived?
Long time no see, everyone.
Madame Yukong?
I've imagined this moment many times. I was worried I might embarrass myself in front of you. I even rehearsed every word beforehand. But now it seems it was unnecessary. Ting-yoon, I'm here to take you home.
Madame Yukong, I wasn't expecting it to be you.
I wanted to come because, after all, it's you who's coming home.
Yeah, me of all people.
Your body. It's going to be tough from now on, isn't it?
I've already escaped death once. What more could I ask for? Also, it's not all bad. I might even beat you at arm wrestling now.
You're still the same, carefree as always. I have a lot I'd like to tell you, but I'll save it for the road. It's a long... Even if we can't completely rid you of the pain, there must be ways to alleviate it on...
I have no doubt. But do I really have to go back to the Lawfu?
Why? You don't want to?
Despite Fantilia's ruthlessness, she spared me when I should have been eliminated. It seems as if I've become a pawn in some...
There are people within the Alliance who also believe that the suspect is now on the
If that's the case, it's all the more reason for me not to return to the Lawfu and
Take advantage of the situation. What do you mean?
Right now, the marks of ruin inside me maintain a delicate balance. Moreover, if possible, please inform the General and arrange for me to meet with the Marshal.
When Ron May visited the Lawfu earlier, she mentioned what happened to you. The Arbiter Generals concluded that Fantilia did not intend for you to survive. If utilized strategically, if we follow this plan, we must keep your resurrection hidden. I'll support you, no matter what others may.
Then I'm glad.
The road ahead is perilous. If you decide to take it, I won't stop you.
I've come to see myself clearly in this dream journey. Perhaps there is someone who can attest to my true and please follow me. She should be...
Is that...
After a strange encounter, I was fragmented into multiple Tingyuns, each embodying, and one of them hasn't returned to me because she ventured too far.
You mean her? What is she doing?
She's captivated by... As a fleeting emotion, she's no different from a newborn. Her boarding this ship was solely down to her inner impulse. Madame Yukong, do you remember... Perhaps that was her first experience with the sky.
Of course I remember. Back then, you were still young enough for me to carry.
You probably still can. Want to give it a try?
I'm afraid you'd be too heavy for me now.
Just kidding.
I remember you kept begging me to take you to the star skiff, and even dreamed of becoming a pilot. But what...
This flight was a turning point. The boundless cosmos unfolded before me. In this world, there are paths beyond waiting. Even though I lacked the talent to pilot the star skiff and wasn't much of... Even to this day, this thrill still courses through me.
That hasn't changed?
Never. Now I can embark once more on my journey as a traveler of no return. Speaking of which, how are things with the Whistling Flames?
I've left Yan Ming in charge for now. He's reliable, but he can be a bit...
My principles. Forsake what others fight for, and take what others abandon. That's the way to navigate the world and achieve my goals. I will continue. But now I've also learned that while these merchant principles may have...
But this shouldn't fall on your shoulders to begin with. You are simply an innocent survivor in this war.
Madame Yukong, you were once a survivor in the war too, weren't you? In a hazy dream, I vaguely remember someone telling me, Madame Yukong, the gods use humans as pawns in their cosmic game, sacrificing countless innocent souls. Have you ever thought about making them pay?
Every moment of every day. But as inconsequential as we are, how can we escape the fate of being mere pawns? If I could choose, I would never want you to become a pawn. I just wish you could still be that carefree little...
Don't be disheartened, Madame Yukong. Thanks to the favor of the Lord Ravager. Remember, it's often the unassuming pawns, the lone traveler, or the worm. So, now I'll become a cunning speck of dust and sneeze a few times.
Is this place also affected by the order?
No, I'm just here to bid farewell. So it shouldn't matter if we add another.
How did you know she would be here?
I didn't. I had a hunch and decided to try my luck.
It's not like you to leave things to luck.
I'm trying to change too.
I don't think you need a bystander in this scenario.
You're not worried I'll take...
I believe you're the kind of person that has the ability...
Thank you.
Now then, Mr. 1 Week.
I'm not leaving.
Let him stay. He won't be in the way. I actually need 1 week to be there. She shouldn't be seen talking to a few...
You don't intend to reveal your...
Both parties don't have to be aware that this is a farewell. I shouldn't put her at risk.
Shall we go then?
Let's go. Our journey can't begin if I can't take this first step. Didn't expect to see you here, Miss Robin.
My name is 1 Week. I'm a member of the Nightingale family.
You're too kind, Miss Robin. You must be very busy. What? Well, perhaps the dreamscape is not so different from reality. When we look up into the night sky, the stars aren't really there. The glimmering lights we... So, have we ever truly seen a real sky? No. Today is my rest day. There's going to be a show later, so I came early to find... It's somewhere farther away. They say it's a... Miss Robin, may I stay here with you to gaze at the stars before the show begins? Still, these stars are unfamiliar to me. Perhaps it's both. The Stellaron disaster may not have had any real consequences, but many guests still chose to check out. Did the person you wanted to say them to leave? Sometimes, what's in your heart doesn't need to be dressed up in words. If you don't mind me asking, who is it that you wish to encourage? There are many such people on Penacony. Failure, I believe they all have the willpower to start anew. Are you saying that's not true? Failure may be a good thing for someone like that. Why is... I hope so. The dream jigsaw. I see. I'm still inexperienced, so let's just hope we... get lucky. It seems we've been blessed with good fortune. Another Dreamweaver probably left this behind. It's a habit for this. The second jigsaw piece. Is this a... We should keep looking. It's done. Have a look. Soon, I shall travel to those unfamiliar stars, none of which I recognize. But as long as you continue to gaze upon them from here, then those unfamiliar stars will one day be the place of our reunion.
That didn't seem like a...
It's enough. I only meant to stay quietly by her side for a bit. But why did you do those unnecessary things?
What things?
Those 2 notes. If someone finds them, they can be used as evidence against her.
Huh. So you can do whatever you want as many times as you want. I don't want to live with regret for the rest of my life either.
Live with regret.
We're almost done saying our goodbyes, right?
Yes. We only have one last stop, but before we leave, I have a question I'd like to ask you, Mr. Yang. I'm curious. Why
Why the sudden interest?
I always had a feeling that you would never give up on someone who needed help. At this very moment, there are countless worlds above the sky still waiting for the arrival of the Astral Express. Yet you and your companion to trailblaze means to forge ahead. Yet, you stop and...
That's not what I think at all. Besides,
And because of that, he bid farewell to the Express and never walked among the stars again.
not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if you can think of it this way. The title of Nameless doesn't belong to any one person. The goal of my trailblazing is not the unknown world. But in my homeland, the name Welt means world. It suggests that each person is a world unto themselves, and that this is my way of the trailblaze and the reason why I decided.
Why me?
Like I said before, I left my home in a hurry too. I also know that a person will only be able to truly face themselves once they've decided. There was never a third person with us, was there?
I told you he'd find out.
Since you already know 1 week's secret, there's no need for me to build up. Let's go. We'll head straight for the...
I know you can hide your appearance, but trespassing on restricted family...
Don't worry. I won't take too much time. I was a child when I first visited the Grand Theater. I remember seeing the light behind the curtains from here. When I returned here many years later as the head of the Oak family.
Now that you've returned to the stage, what do you...
Prepare for my departure. I've always believed that a person's starting point should also be his last stop. Have you ever seen the elderly at the end of their lives? As they welcome their final moments, they invariably raise their hands. Humanity flaps their wings twice as they complete their journey. Once when they are born. I will say goodbye. Here, to the me of yesterday. I really hate this face. My expressions feel so dull.
I see. That explains why something always felt off. The halo above your head that symbolizes the harmony. It's been missing since the...
It's true that this ring was bestowed upon our people by the heavens. But that doesn't mean it can't be thrown away. While I was in the gallery of thoughts, at the entrance of the dream, I chose...
Why?
I am a fugitive, after all. I must remove any chance of being... Another reason is... This is how I can cast aside all the blessings of the harmony and the order.
Is that also how Mr. 1 Week came into this world?
No. You wouldn't He was born from an accident. It was that try not to laugh challenge. I was roaming around as an ordinary person when I unfortunately fell into that Pepeshi's trap. The prank that fragmented...
Are you saying that he's a part of you? That's...
You could say he's another... I too was once a child, with aspirations buried deep within. Over to maybe if I had made a small change in my childhood. What a pity. Failing to become a better So, My final farewell will be like that of Miss Ting Yun. And this also means that 1 week will vanish for good. Is there a possibility that you will be the one who... No. This is... But who's to say there won't be any changes? Maybe deep...
Regardless of the outcome, you will have a... I'll be waiting for you in the audience.
Much appreciated. Now, shall we begin? Anticipating this possibility, you've really changed. In the past, I'm about to embark on an unknown journey where it will be impossible to maintain my orderly life. I will have to navigate unexpected surprises, much like today. You're not ready at all, are you? I feel unsettled, maybe even scared. Ever since I left Penacony, I could no longer control everything. Don't flatter yourself. You can't control anything. But isn't that how it is for most people? My fear of the unknown may be a weakness, but your presence has shown me that surprises aren't always... Meeting you has been a great help to me, and I'm glad to have discovered this side of myself. I also feel grateful for the opportunity to tell you this in person. I truly dislike you. What? Are you sure you didn't mean the opposite? I must admit, many of your qualities strike a chord with me. There are times when I want to joke around, freely express my thoughts, or openly share my or my fondness. Then go for it, Sonny. You always talk about locking the bird in the cage, but you're the one who's trapped. Look at yourself. Besides discipline and hesitation, there's nothing else in your life. If you continue living like a slab of marble... But I won't become like you. I dislike people who are frivolous. It makes me uncomfortable to even emulate them. If I fail, I will still uphold my principles, such as for the harmony. My stance remains the same. Whether it's you or the paths, if what I once doubted, then this time, my true heart will guide the tuning. I'll leave it to you. What is this? Leaving your fate entirely up to a coin flip? This isn't like you at all. Did you lose your mind after being run over by the express? Or were you possessed by that Failure is always the best teacher. To save more lives, you must first understand what they live for and what they die for. You see? I'm already starting to make... Whether it's us merging or one of us disappearing, I'll leave the tuning to fate. And see if I can embrace all that I detest. Only then will I truly be able to walk among the living in their... But what if you can't do it? Well, that's out of my hands. It will just prove the person who always disappoints his sister. Falling is just another name for flying. That's why I rejoice at my broken wings. Step into the mortal world to see how it truly is. Then, be born as a human and die as one. And with my last breath, I'll join the weak and reach on the planet of festivities. Whatever identities I want, it's not the gods who answer us, but ourselves from the future. I don't have much to say, but as it's time to... When telling jokes, be sincere. Don't sweat the details, and above all, don't explain them. Never mind. Maybe it's better. No objections from me. This is so annoying. How did I become so dull? Well, despite everything, try not to be too hard on yourself. Planet of festivities, land of the dreams. I say goodbye to my home. Should one desire to leave the stage for good,
One must first step back onto the stage.
as expected, the trickiest thing is tuning yourself. These dissonant sounds are much too harsh. As expected, the trickiest thing is tuning yourself. These dissonant sounds are much too harsh.
Destined for oblivion.
I have something for you. You won't get away.
The note echoes of the past need not fade away. Follow them to the stars.
It too shall fall.
Noisy.
You chose the wrong enemy. Receive divinity.
I can't thank you enough.
Repay. Eternal sleep.
The dead return!
Barely felt it.
A moment of divine insight arises from enduring patience. Serenity is before me.
You won't get away.
Free will, or was it fate?
This mortal form, I will watch over you and guide you on your path.
Perhaps humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Sink into a dream.
Another journey begins. Still water to oblivion.
I've heard the call.
Let's settle this. Bloom.
Much obliged. You won't get away.
Disorderly noise.
Barely felt it.
Time for an overhaul. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Overcome the thorns!
Destined for oblivion. You won't get away.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Nobody present. The noise is fading.
I have something for you.
Major. Receive divinity.
Much obliged.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return!
Serenity is before me!
Free will, or was it fate? Still waters for flitting.
Disorderly noise!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Time has come. Let it be revealed. Is it inevitable for me?
I'll see you off.
Time for an overhaul. You won't get away.
Disorderly noise!
Destined for oblivion.
Disorderly noise!
This mortal form. Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Wait for good tidings.
Perhaps you still... Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Disorderly noise!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Overcome the thorns. Serenity is before me.
I have something for you.
Gods awaken!
Another journey begins. Still waters of oblivion.
It's of no consequence.
Bloom.
Much obliged.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return!
You won't get away.
Uphold the true, and you will.
To doubt farewell.
Free will, or was it fate? Destined for oblivion.
Disorderly noise!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
This mortal form. Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Noisy.
Even
Sink into a dream.
You won't get away.
Disorderly noise.
That's half the work. Still waters of oblivion.
Disorderly noise.
You chose the wrong enemy.
I've heard the call.
Another journey begins. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. You won't get away.
Disorderly noise. Uphold the true, and you will.
Again? Bloom. Don't worry, it's just a scrape.
I have something for you.
Noise is fading.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return.
Perhaps humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Noisy.
Still wrong.
Noisy.
Time for an overhaul.
Wait for good time.
I'll see you off. Receive divinity.
Don't worry, it's just a scrape.
Doubt farewell. This mortal form will watch over you and guide you on your path.
Free will or was it fate? Destiny or bliss? I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
On this 8th day, I grant myself departure.
Well, how should I address you now? Mr. Sunday or Mr. 1 Week?
Whichever you prefer. He's probably mocking me from inside right now. Thank you for accompanying me through all this, Mr. Yang. This farewell journey has come to an end.
What are your plans after leaving Penacony?
At this point, there's no need to hide things from you. I believe there's more to the incident involving the
Are you suggesting that the Dream Master wasn't the one controlling the Stellaron?
Don't worry. The Oak family was indeed behind seizing the Stellaron and resurrecting the fallen Eon during the Charmony Festival. But Mr. Gopherwood once told me that all the Order's efforts were aimed at avoiding the same mistakes that the harm... My guess is that the family from the Montour system must be involved. Unfortunately, too much time has passed to verify that. Penacony is just a small territory, and even the family heads with them. In the worst case scenario, if Sheepei turned a blind eye, how could the strong... Mr. Yang, I just want to tell you this. The Harmony has more than one side. They can be the most steadfast ally of the Astral Express.
Thank you for being honest with me. The effort. After all this, the harmony and the preservation will keep the situation on the planet of festivities in balance. With the momentum from the Trailblaze, more forces will arrive, and Penacony. Freedom is the only answer the Nameless can offer. I'm glad.
You and I both strive for a peaceful society. Even if not for our paths, perhaps you and I wouldn't be in opposition.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. We're not. This shared journey is my way of repaying you. You are one of my trailblazing goals.
About that, you've given me many insights as well. Humans are the measure of everything, and no one is the sole savior. Creating a paradise remains one of my lifelong ambitions. As I move forward, while I lack the will to trailblaze, I admire your convictions. Perhaps what I need. Therefore, after leaving Penacony, would you consider letting me come aboard the Astral Express and travel with you for now?
So this is why I brought him here. Mr. Sunday wants to join us on the Express. Of course, I can't make that decision.
I learned the most valuable lessons from my past opponents. Please.
Well, he's just traveling with us, not an actual member of the Express crew.
Thank you all for your forgiveness. Perhaps I'll find the answer I'm looking for on this journey. Until then, rest assured that I will
Now that our business on Penacony is settled, it's... try?
No, we're still not. Indeed, this is only a minor ripple that no one will ever notice. So, you must also understand, for a genius, the importance of asking questions outweighs the importance of the answers themselves. So-called magic has its own set of principles. There are no mysteries in this universe that cannot be solved. So, all-seeing presence, I ask you this. What is divinity?
hope we will walk the same path next time.
Thank you.